I'm Randy.
I'm Calvin.
And we are the original security guys.
All right, it's that time this year. We're on our second video for the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And this video, the topic is about?
Well, let's see. We should definitely consider using a password or strong passwords.
And a manager.
And a manager.
Well, everybody knows.
Manager of the passwords.
Yeah, manage the passwords. Hire a manager, right? All right. So, okay, everybody's got passwords. So what do we mean whenever we say password? What we're really talking about is a strong password, right?
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean? When you say strong password, what is that?
Well, back in the day, we thought 8 characters was strong password.
Yeah.
And just before this video, I was doing a little lookup, and it seems that an 8-character strong password being at least one upper, one lower, one number, one special character, any combination thereof, that can be cracked anywhere from 5 minutes to a couple of hours, maybe, or less.
Yeah.
So it depends on how that's constructed. Obviously, more is better.
Yeah.
So getting up to, I think last year we were telling people to use 12 characters.
Right.
I'm thinking we probably need to bump that up a couple of characters, because while a 14-character password with modern technology is going to take, a whole bunch of years to crack, next year the computer processing technology is going to change, and that time is going to come down dramatically or exponentially. Well,
the problem that we have, there's multiple problems that we're having with passwords. There's still a lot of people that just use 5-character passwords, which is, it's cracked in seconds. That's not a problem. Even if you have somebody like you and me will use a long, very secure password, and that's great. But the problem that we can't control and none of the users can control is the accounts that they have, they get compromised. So their email accounts get compromised. The banks that they do business with gets compromised. The casinos that they visit and patronize
or LinkedIn
or Facebook or whatever, those accounts, those username and passwords get stolen. And even if it's a strong password, well, the hackers have that password now. And if you most users, they won't change their password. They got a password and it's strong and it's really hard to remember, and I'm not going to change it. So they keep it the same. And that has become a problem. So a lot of times hackers don't even have to hack the password. They steal it from somewhere else. And remember, once they get stolen, those databases are out there on the dark web for anybody to purchase.
Yeah. And what users need to get away from is, okay, you've created a strong password. Great, wonderful. Quit using it on every one of your accounts.
Yeah.
So that it's not on Facebook and your email and your banking account.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what are some methods for a user easily creating a long password, remembering what it is, and yet also having a different, very strong password on every account that they have? What are some of the methods that you would recommend?
Well, there's always leet speak, where we substitute characters. 3 E's become 3's, A's become either the @ symbol or a 2, on and on. Figure out a pattern that works for you and run with it.
Yeah.
There is using a quote and taking the first letter out of each word of the quote, so that you remember this great big long phrase, but it's just a random group of letters if you actually look at it. And then change some of the letters to, if a word begins with I, you might throw in an exclamation point so that it's something different. And then only you will know that to get your special characters and your capitals and etc.
So, like for us, an example of that would be, I like the Oki style videos. So I would be the first character of your password.
And you could substitute the exclamation point or even a 1.
Right. And then L, I like. the L. Okie style, OS. You can change the S to a number 5 or a $sign.
Yeah.
Right. Videos. Okay. The V. You can create long videos, and it's got to be a phrase that the user will remember. Instead of using their birthday, you can just say, my favorite child's birthday is, and then use the month, and then just use the first letter of the month, or use the first 3 characters of the month in all of the entire password link that they have.
I used a URL for a website that I frequented, and then I made up a dummy page. So https:// enter name of business.com/ and then dummy name on the end of it. And when it was all said and done, it was 28 characters, 29 characters.
Right. So if our users, if they find a long password that is, very secure, right? Whatever that is very strong. The term that is used to say, to salt that password, is one method of keeping the same password, but yet still being different whenever they change it. And what we mean by that is, if you have a 15-character password, very strong password, salt it. Put something on the very end of it, maybe 01, maybe 0. The next one would be 02, and then the next one would be 03, or put the month and the day, or something like that, so that you can keep the same password except for the salt. The last few characters is what's going to change every time you change your password.
Well, and you could flip that, and you could put it at the front as well.
Could put it at the front. You just need to make sure that your password to begin with is long enough that the salt is actually going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Right. It has to be a secure password to start with on its own. And then the salt, even though it's going to be very close and sometimes is predictable, well, then, you still got a strong password. And as long as somebody doesn't hack your password, or even if they do hack your password, they may not understand that part of that is a salt method. And by the time they get to use the password that they've stolen from somebody else, well, you've already changed your password, but you still know what it is.
Yep. Hopefully you've changed it anyway.
Right. Okay. So I've got hundreds of accounts, and I'm a security professional, and I'm going to have these long passwords, and every single one of them are going to be different. And I remember every single one of them in my head. It's not going to happen. I'm a professional, and I can't do it. So if I can't do it, how can I expect the users to do it? So what do we do? What do we recommend?
We have these wonderful programs that are available. Password managers.
Password managers. I bet that's going to cost $1 billion to get to use.
No. There's a lot of them out there that are free to use.
Yeah.
Those are generally for local use. There are paid for apps that are in a cloud, not, obviously not on your computer, but they're in a cloud.
Yep. And that's okay, right? I mean, there's nothing insecure about the cloud in of itself. It's how you secure the use, your usage of the cloud.
Well, it's your use, but it's also that vendor.
Yeah.
Is that vendor doing everything that they need to be doing? Because we're aware of the fact that some password managers that are paid for services might have had a problem and stuff got compromised more than once.
Yeah. And the good thing about some of those is you put in a master password to your database, your password database. And so even if those vendors get compromised, you hope that their encryption doesn't get compromised and they get the passwords. But you're the only one that has the master password. So you have that advantage, provided that the password manager is reputable. Yeah. So just make sure that if you use one that's reputable. I mean, I've used several. I've used some that are free. When you pay for them, they're not that expensive. They're less than $100 a year. And the benefits that you get if you're a family, all of your family gets an account, and you can share passwords, for certain things that you need to other family members. So there are advantages.
And you and I have played with password managers that had multi-factor authentication built into them, so they would take care of that.
Yeah, that's true. So there without necessarily promoting or putting any of them down, using any of them is going to be better than using none of them. So I would recommend, do a Google search, do a search on some password managers, look at some of the leading ones, do some of your own research. Don't pay for one unless you're wanting to pay for the features.
Yeah.
Use a free one, get used to it. There is differences in each one of them. They offer a few things that's just a little different. Most of them you can put the technology, you can put the application on every computer you have, on every mobile device you have, and all the passwords are automatically synchronized between all of them. So most of them all do that, but not all of them. So just do your research and make sure it will provide all of the features that you're looking for.
And do your homework and make sure that, as Calvin said, that they're a reputable vendor and there's been no major issues with that.
Yeah. Well, that's it for our passwords and password manager for National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And we thank you for having a conversation with us, Okie style. Until next time, we are the original security guys.